Ladies, let me tell you something. Attention isn't about luck. It's not about how perfect your hair looks or whether your outfit is on point. It's about presence. It's about energy. It's about knowing your worth so deeply that when you walk into a room, every man feels it. You don't chase attention, you command it. Let's get one thing straight. Confidence isn't just an accessory you put on when you feel like it. It's the foundation of how the world sees you, and more importantly, how men see you. You ever notice how some women walk into a room and suddenly all eyes are on them? It's not about their looks. It's not about their outfit. It's not about their makeup. It's about the way they carry themselves. Like they belong. Like they don't need validation. Like they are the main character and everyone else is just living in their world. That's what confidence does. It demands attention without asking for it. It's the energy that makes men take notice even when you're not trying. Confidence is magnetic. It's the thing that makes a man stop mid-conversation just to turn and watch you move, the thing that makes him lean in a little closer, the thing that keeps you on his mind long after you've left the room. Now, here's the thing. Confidence isn't loud, isn't boastful. It isn't about showing off or trying too hard. Real confidence is quiet but powerful. It's in the way you stand tall, the way you make eye contact without looking away too fast, the way you speak with certainty, the way you own your space like you belong in every single room you step into. It's about knowing that you don't have to prove your worth to anyone because you already know it. And let's be real, men can smell insecurity a mile away. They can tell when you're unsure of yourself, when you're waiting for them to decide if you're worthy of their attention. And you know what they do? They pull away. Because neediness is repelling, but confidence is irresistible. When you walk into a space like you don't need their validation, that's when they start giving it to you. When you act like you're already enough on your own, that's when they start wondering how they can be part of your world. Think about the most attractive, captivating women in the world, the ones men obsess over. They don't beg, they don't chase, they don't shrink themselves down or try to make everyone comfortable at their own expense. They own their presence, they take up space, they are unapologetically themselves, and that's why men can't ignore them. It's not about arrogance, it's not about being cocky, it's about knowing that you are valuable, that you are desirable, that you bring something to the table without having to scream about it. Confidence is when you stop looking around for approval and start giving yourself permission to be powerful. It's when you stop doubting your worth and start walking like you already know you're that girl. And when you do that, when you truly believe in yourself, when you start treating yourself like the prize, you won't have to worry about a man ignoring you ever again. Because confidence doesn't ask for attention, it commands it. Mystery is power. It's the thing that keeps men intrigued, keeps them thinking about you when you're not around, keeps them wanting to know more. Do you ever notice how people crave what they don't fully understand? That's human nature. When something feels too easy to figure out, it loses its excitement. The same goes for attraction. Men are wired to chase, to pursue, to uncover what feels just out of reach. The moment you spill everything about yourself too soon, the moment you give him all the answers before he even asks the questions, you take away that natural curiosity. And when there's nothing left to discover, interest starts to fade. Not because you're not amazing, because you didn't give him a reason to keep exploring you. Mystery doesn't mean playing games or pretending to be someone you're not. It means knowing that not every thought, every emotion, every detail of your life needs to be put on display right away. It means keeping certain parts of yourself reserved for those who have truly earned access to them. Because let's be real, when you give too much too soon, it doesn't create closeness. It creates predictability. And predictability, that's what kills attraction faster than anything. Think about the most captivating women, the ones who walk into a room and you just know there's more to them than meets the eye. They don't overshare. They don't feel the need to explain themselves. They reveal pieces of themselves slowly, deliberately, making every interaction feel like there's still more to uncover. They keep men on their toes, wondering what's next, wondering what's behind that confident smile, wondering if they truly know them yet. And that's the secret. Men don't fall for women they completely understand. They fall for women who keep them wondering, who make them feel like there's always another layer to discover. They fall for women who don't just hand over their hearts, but make them work for it piece by piece. So what does mystery look like in action? It's in the way you don't always text back right away, not because you're playing games, but because you actually have a life. It's in the way you answer a question without giving every little detail, leaving just enough unsaid for him to keep thinking about you. It's in the way you don't lay all your feelings out on the table before he's even proven he's worth knowing them. Men respect what they have to earn. They value what they don't fully possess. The more you leave a little space, a little intrigue, a little unspoken energy, the more they'll keep coming back for more. Listen, respect isn't something you ask for, it's something you command. And the way you teach a man to treat you starts with how you treat yourself. If you don't set the standard, he won't either. If you don't value yourself, he won't value you. If you allow disrespect, it will continue. It's that simple. Men are naturally drawn to women who set the bar high, not just in what they say, but in how they live. If you carry yourself with dignity, if you have standards that you don't bend for just anyone, if you know your worth without needing outside validation, a man will take notice. Realize that being in your life is a privilege, not a right. And that's the difference between a woman who gets played and a woman who gets pursued, respected, and cherished. The truth is, the way you allow a man to treat you is a direct reflection of your self-respect. If you let him cancel on you last minute and still make yourself available the next time, he learns that you don't value your own time. If you tolerate mixed signals, inconsistency, or half-hearted effort, he learns that he doesn't have to try hard to keep you around. If you always put his needs above your own, he learns that you'll settle for being an afterthought instead of a priority. But when you respect yourself first, everything changes. You stop over-explaining yourself. You stop begging for attention. You stop waiting by the phone, accepting breadcrumbs, and settling for anything less than what you truly deserve. Instead, you create boundaries, not to push him away, but to teach him how to show up for you the right way. A woman who respects herself doesn't chase, she attracts. She doesn't lower her standards for the sake of keeping a man interested. She holds her ground, knowing that the right man will meet her at her level. She doesn't lose herself in a relationship. She remains her own person with a life, goals, and ambitions that extend beyond any man. And here's the thing, men can feel it when a woman values herself. It's in the way she walks, the way she talks, the way she carries herself, like she's already whole. That energy is irresistible. Because deep down, men want a woman they can look up to, admire, and work to keep in their lives. They don't want someone who makes it too easy, someone who is willing to shrink herself just to be liked. When you respect yourself, you set the tone for every interaction. You decide what you will and won't tolerate. You communicate with your actions that you are a woman of value. And once a man sees that, he either rises to meet your standards or falls away. Either way, you win. Let me tell you something. Nothing makes a woman more irresistible than being a woman who is already fulfilled on her own. A woman who has passions, dreams, friendships, and a life that doesn't revolve around a man is the kind of woman a man can't help but chase. Why? Because she's not dependent on him for happiness. She already has it, and that makes her a prize. Men are naturally drawn to what they can't fully have, to what feels just a little out of reach. And the moment you make him the center of your world, the moment you drop everything for him, cancel plans, neglect your hobbies, or lose yourself in the relationship, you lose that magnetic pull. You stop being the woman he was initially attracted to, the one who had her own thing going on, the one who was too busy living her best life to be waiting around for a text back. Think about it. Before he came into your life, what made you happy? What made you excited to wake up in the morning? What did you spend your time doing? If all of that disappears the second a man shows interest in you, he will subconsciously start to pull away. Not because he doesn't like you, but because he feels the weight of being your only source of happiness, and that's not attractive. It's pressure. A man wants to be part of your world, not your entire world. He wants to know that you have things that fulfill you outside of him. He wants to know that you're still that girl with dreams, with ambition, with a life that doesn't pause just because he showed up. That's what keeps him intrigued, invested, and constantly wanting more. Having a life outside of him means staying connected to your friends, keeping up with your hobbies, chasing your goals, and maintaining your independence. It means making plans without waiting on him. It means taking care of yourself, growing, evolving, and constantly becoming a better version of you for yourself first and for any man second. And here's the secret. The more you pour into your own life, the more naturally attractive you become. Men are drawn to women who have a spark, who are excited about their own journey, who don't need a man to feel whole, but would welcome the right one as an addition, not a necessity. When you do this, you create a dynamic where he starts to see you as someone worth keeping, someone he has to work to keep up with, someone who is so fulfilled on her own that being with her feels like a privilege, not a responsibility. Let's get real. Nothing is more powerful than a woman who knows how to control her emotions. That doesn't mean you don't feel deeply. That doesn't mean you're cold, distant, or emotionless. It means you know how to manage your emotions in a way that makes a man respect you, chase you, and see you as the kind of woman he doesn't want to lose. Men are naturally drawn to women who are emotionally steady. When you're confident in yourself, when you don't overreact, when you don't let small things shake your sense of self-worth, you stand out. Because let's be honest, too many people let their emotions control them. They react impulsively, let insecurity take over, and start creating drama over things that don't even matter. And when you do that, you become predictable, exhausting, and easy to walk away from. The most attractive women are the ones who know how to handle situations with grace. If a man doesn't text back right away, she doesn't spiral into overthinking. If he pulls away a little, she doesn't chase him. She stays calm, focuses on herself, and lets him figure it out. She doesn't beg for attention, doesn't blow up his phone, doesn't let her emotions run wild just because she's feeling insecure for a moment. And guess what? That's the kind of woman a man can't ignore. Emotional control means you know how to communicate without losing yourself in the process. It means you don't let temporary feelings cause you to make permanent mistakes. It means you don't lash out, beg, or guilt trip a man just because you're feeling uncertain. Instead, you handle situations with confidence, with patience, with emotional intelligence, and that is rare. That is powerful, that is unforgettable. When a woman is emotionally out of control, a man starts to see her as a liability instead of an asset. No man wants to feel like he's constantly walking on eggshells, worried about how she's going to react. No man wants to feel like he's responsible for keeping her happy every second of the day. When you put that kind of emotional pressure on a man, he will pull away because it's not his job to regulate your emotions, it's yours. But when you're in control, when you stay calm, collected, and confident, even in moments of uncertainty, that's when you become a woman he deeply respects. That's when he starts to see you as someone he doesn't want to lose because he knows he can trust you to handle things like an adult, not a child throwing a tantrum. And here's the truth. When you are emotionally in control, you hold the power in the relationship because you're not reacting to every little thing. You're not giving your energy away to nonsense. You're not letting your emotions make decisions for you. Instead, you're the one who decides how things go because you're the one who chooses how to respond. And that is the kind of woman men never forget. Let me tell you something. Scarcity creates value. Anything that is too easy to get, too always there, too predictable, it loses its spark. And this applies to you just as much as it applies to anything else in life. If you are always available, always the first to text, always rearranging your schedule to fit his, he will start to take you for granted. Not because he's a bad guy, but because human nature works that way. We appreciate what we have to earn. Men crave a challenge. They don't fall for the woman who drops everything for them. They fall for the woman who has a full, exciting life of her own and doesn't need to be at their beck and call. They fall for the woman who makes them wonder when they'll see her next, who makes them work a little for her time, who isn't always just sitting around waiting for them to make a move. Being too available sends one message loud and clear. I don't have much else going on. And the second a man senses that, he starts to lose interest. Because deep down, men want to be with someone who is valuable, someone whose time is precious, someone who is pursued by many but chooses only one. They don't want someone who is always one text away, always ready to drop everything just to see them. Let's talk about the energy shift that happens when you make yourself a little less available. Suddenly, he starts to wonder where you are. He starts to notice that you're not always replying right away. He starts to feel like he needs to step up his game or he might lose you to someone else. And that is powerful because the moment a man feels like you're a little out of reach, like he has to work to keep your attention, he values it so much more. But don't get it twisted. This isn't about playing childish games. It's not about waiting 3 hours to text back just to prove a point. It's about actually being busy. It's about having a life that doesn't revolve around him. It's about making plans that don't include him sometimes, not to make him jealous, but because you genuinely have things you love doing. It's about letting him see that your world doesn't pause just because he entered it. Men respect what they have to earn. When you're always available, always reachable, always waiting, you take away that sense of excitement, that feeling that he needs to chase you. But when you keep a little bit of distance, when you have your own schedule, when you're not always an easy yes, he starts to realize your value. He starts to see that you're someone he needs to work for, someone he needs to keep impressing, someone who isn't just grateful for his attention, but knows she deserves it. And that's when he stops taking you for granted. That's when he starts making plans in advance instead of hitting you up last minute. That's when he starts prioritizing you because he knows that if he doesn't, someone else might. When you stop being too available, you don't lose him. You make him step up. And that's the energy that keeps a man hooked. Let me tell you something, nothing commands more respect than a woman who is willing to walk away when she's not being treated right. A woman who doesn't beg, doesn't plead, doesn't try to force someone to see her worth. A woman who simply leaves when she knows she deserves better. That is the kind of woman men never forget. See, men test boundaries. All people do. They want to know how much they can get away with. They want to see if you're someone who sticks to her standards or if you're all talk. And the moment a man realizes that you won't leave no matter how he treats you, that's the moment he stops trying. That's the moment he stops putting in effort. That's the moment he starts taking you for granted because he knows you're not going anywhere. But a woman who knows her worth, a woman who walks away when she's not being valued, that woman is powerful. She's not afraid of losing a man because she knows that if he can't appreciate her, he was never the right one anyway. She doesn't hold on to situations that are draining her. She doesn't wait around hoping someone will change. She doesn't settle for less than what she deserves just because she's afraid of being alone. And here's the kicker. When you walk away from a man who isn't treating you right, one of two things will happen. He will step up. He will realize that he has to be better if he wants to keep you. He will understand that you are not the kind of woman who tolerates nonsense, and that will make him respect you more than ever. He will let you go, and that will tell you everything you need to know. Because if a man is okay with losing you, if he doesn't fight to keep you, he was never truly invested in the first place. Either way, you win. Walking away is not weakness. It's not giving up. It's not being dramatic. It's self-respect in action. It's saying, I refuse to settle for anything less than what I deserve. It's proving to yourself that you are your own first priority. It's showing the world that you are not afraid to be alone because you know that the right love will never require you to beg for it. The women who get walked over, the women who get ignored, the women who spend years in relationships that drain them, they are the ones who stay when they should have left. They are the ones who let fear keep them stuck. They are the ones who ignore the red flags and convince themselves that if they just love harder, if they just prove their worth, if they just wait a little longer, things will get better. But the women who are respected, desired, and never forgotten, they are the ones who leave when they have to. They don't threaten to walk away. They just do. They don't chase. They don't beg. They don't cry over a man who refuses to see their worth. They walk away with their head held high, knowing that their value isn't up for debate. And that is the energy that makes a man never forget you. Because when you show him that you are willing to choose yourself over him, you become the one that got away. You become the one he regrets losing. You become the one he compares every other woman to. Because deep down, all men know a woman who can walk away is a woman who is worth holding on to. Let's be real. Men love a challenge. They crave excitement, the thrill of the chase, the feeling that there's always something new to discover. And the women they can't stop thinking about, they're the ones who know how to keep a little mystery alive. They're the ones who don't lay all their cards on the table at once. They're the ones who leave a man wondering, guessing, and wanting more. See, too many women make the mistake of oversharing too soon. They tell a man everything about themselves in the first few conversations. They spill their whole life story, their past heartbreaks, their biggest fears, their deepest emotions. all before a man has even earned that level of intimacy. And what happens? The mystery dies, the curiosity fades, the chase is over before it even began. But a woman who holds a little back, a woman who knows how to let him in slowly instead of all at once, she becomes magnetic. Because now he has something to look forward to. Now he feels like he has to work to uncover the different layers of who she is. Now he's intrigued because he realizes that she is not just handing over her heart on a silver platter. Mystery isn't about playing mind games. It's not about being distant or cold. It's about keeping parts of yourself just for you. It's about letting a man earn your story, your trust, your emotions. It's about leaving space for curiosity, so he's always eager to learn more, always excited to get closer, always feeling like there's something undiscovered about you. Think about the most captivating people you've ever met. Were they the ones who told you everything the second you met them? Or were they the ones who made you wonder, who made you ask questions, who made you feel like there was always another side to them waiting to be uncovered? That's the energy you need to carry. Don't tell him everything about your past, your childhood, your deepest emotions in the first week. Let him earn that information. Let him invest in getting to know you. Let him chase the experience of unraveling you little by little. And here's the thing, mystery isn't just about words. It's about the way you carry yourself. It's in the way you pause before you answer. It's in the way you don't always reveal exactly what you're thinking. It's in the way you keep some things private, just for you. A woman who isn't an open book is a woman who keeps a man hooked because he always feels like there's more to discover, more to learn, more to experience. Men are wired to pursue, to chase, to uncover. And when you are a woman who understands the power of a little mystery, you become the woman they can't stop thinking about, because every interaction with you feels like a new adventure. And that is the kind of woman who is never ignored, never forgotten, and always desired. Men are naturally drawn to peace. In a world that constantly demands more from them, work pressures, responsibilities, expectations, they crave a place where they can just breathe. And the women they hold on to, the women they never want to lose, they are the ones who bring them peace, not chaos. Too many women think that being loud, dramatic, or constantly testing a man will keep him interested. They believe that if they cause enough tension, he'll pay more attention to them. But here's the truth. Men do not fall in love with stress. They don't commit to women who make them feel like they're always on edge. They might be entertained for a while, but they won't stay. Because at the end of the day, they want a woman who makes them feel safe, understood, and at ease. Being his peace doesn't mean being a doormat. It doesn't mean accepting less than you deserve or never standing up for yourself. It means knowing how to communicate without attacking, how to express your feelings without creating unnecessary drama, and how to handle conflict with grace instead of aggression. When a man sees you as his peace, he feels like he can be himself around you. He doesn't have to put on a front. He doesn't have to constantly defend himself. He knows that when he's with you, he can relax, recharge, and feel like everything is okay, even when life is throwing challenges his way. That kind of energy is irreplaceable. That kind of energy is what makes a man choose you over and over again. And let's be clear, being his peace doesn't mean ignoring red flags or suppressing your emotions. It means handling situations like a woman who knows her worth. Instead of exploding over small things, you address them with maturity. Instead of playing mind games, you communicate clearly. Instead of creating problems just to get attention, you let your presence be a source of comfort and support. The truth is, men don't talk about their emotions the way women do. They don't always express when they're overwhelmed, exhausted, or dealing with internal battles. But they feel it deeply when a woman is either adding to their stress or easing it. A woman who constantly nags, criticizes, or brings unnecessary negativity into his life, he will slowly pull away, not because he doesn't care, but because he needs relief, not more pressure. But a woman who knows how to be a calm force in his life, a woman who brings warmth, support, and positive energy, she is unforgettable. She is the one he thinks about when he's stressed. She is the one he runs to when life gets heavy. She is the one he never wants to lose because he knows that no one else can make him feel the way she does. The most attractive women are not the ones who bring the most drama. They are the ones who bring the most peace. And when you become the woman who centers his world instead of shaking it up, you will never be ignored, never be taken for granted, and never be replaced. Men have a deep, unspoken need to feel like a man when they're with you. It's wired into their nature. It's not about ego and it's not about dominance. It's about purpose. A man wants to feel needed, respected, and admired. He wants to feel like he is adding value to your life. And the women that men never forget, they are the ones who know how to bring out the best in a man by making him feel like one. In today's world, a lot of women are taught to be hyper-independent, to prove that they can do everything on their own without a man's help. And while independence is powerful, the truth is, men want to feel needed, not in a way that makes you weak, but in a way that makes them feel useful and important in your life. See, when you let a man step up, when you let him lead sometimes, when you allow him to provide, protect, and support you, even in small ways, it ignites something in him. It makes him feel like he has a role in your life that matters. It makes him feel appreciated, like he is contributing to your happiness in a way that only he can. And that feeling, that's what keeps a man invested. But too many women unknowingly push men away by making them feel unnecessary. They reject their help. They dismiss their efforts. They act like they don't need anything from them. And eventually the man starts to feel useless in the relationship. And when a man feels like he doesn't have a place in your life, he starts to check out, not because he doesn't care, but because his nature drives him to seek purpose. And if he doesn't feel it with you, he'll find it elsewhere. Making a man feel like a man isn't about being submissive or giving up your power. It's about recognizing that men and women thrive in different ways. It's about allowing a man to step into his masculine energy while you remain strong in your feminine. It's about letting him open the jar when you can't, letting him fix something for you, letting him take care of you in the ways he wants to. It's about showing him that his presence means something, that he is valued, respected, and admired for what he brings to the table. And here's the thing. When you make a man feel like a man, he will go to war for you, he will protect you, cherish you, and love you with a fire that never fades. He will never take you for granted because you are giving him something rare, the feeling of being truly seen and appreciated for who he is. But if you constantly challenge him, if you always make him feel like he's replaceable, if you act like you don't need him at all, he will start to withdraw. Because no man wants to be in a relationship where he feels like his efforts don't matter. No man wants to stay where he feels unwanted or unneeded. So celebrate his masculinity, let him take the lead sometimes, show him respect, make him feel strong, capable, and important. When you do, he will move mountains for you, he will protect you, honor you, and make you the center of his world. And that right there is the kind of connection that a man will never walk away from. At the end of the day, it all comes down to how you make him feel. Men don't forget the woman who challenges them in the right way, who respects herself enough to walk away when necessary, who keeps a little mystery alive, who brings peace into their life, and who allows them to step into their masculinity without fear of being diminished. The women who are ignored, overlooked, and taken for granted, they're the ones who lose themselves trying to force love, trying to chase a man's attention, trying to be everything except authentically themselves. But the women who men can't let go of, they are the ones who move with confidence, grace, and self-respect. You don't need to beg for attention. You don't need to convince a man to see your worth. You simply need to embody the kind of energy that demands it naturally. And when you do, you will never have to question where you stand. Because the right man, the one who truly values you, will make it impossible to ignore you.